Here at New Athos, on the coast, about a 20-minute drive northwest of Sukhum, we find a still functioning monastery. It was built in the 1870s by the Russians once they had finally established control over Abkhazia. Russian monks were brought from the Russian monastery on Mount Athos in northern Greece to oversee the construction. And it is a wonderfully colourful addition, a man-made addition, to the natural wonders that Athos, New Athos, has to offer. It is essential to stress the importance of Christianity to Abkhazia, because many people are under the misapprehension that the Abkhazians largely adhere to the Muslim faith. So far, everything we have seen on our journey through Abkhazia has been above ground. Now, our excursion brings us beneath it. We are here, deep inside the hill at New Athos, above which stands the ancient capital and fortress known as Anacopia. In 1961, a boy called Givi Smir, who today is in charge of the whole tourist complex here at New Athos, discovered a hole in the mountainside. Crawling through, this is what he discovered. The cave complex at New Athos is one of the 3 largest in volume in the world.
The history of it's really quite unusual. Nikita Khrushchev was in America, and the American president invites him to visit a cave some 3 hours' drive from Washington. He was perplexed, our Nikita Khrushchev, and he gave strict orders to find anywhere in the USSR a cave and make it comfortable for visitors. And here you are, such a wonder. There was a big expedition, maybe some 30 men. The assault group consisted of 4 men, me included, and it was certainly a colossal undertaking. And nowadays, it would not be possible to equip the cave, to find the necessary funds. It's become a real wonder, but it has to be admitted that the project was not entirely well thought out from the point of view of ecology. It was not taken into account that the water in the cave lakes can rise, and the water did rise, and it went up this channel and flowed out just here in the middle of the town.
The Abkhazians who live in the northern part of Abkhazia speak the Bzip dialect, and an annual festival to celebrate Bzip culture has been established here at Lukhna Ashta, or Lukhna Meadow. The Abkhazians who live in the central part of Abkhazia are known as Abjua, or Middle People. And since the 1970s, a popular festival has been instituted here at Muk Meadow, celebrating Abjuan culture. Dotted around me are reconstructed examples of the traditional wickerwork dwelling of the Abkhazians called patskhes. Transcaucasus was independent for a few years following the Russian Revolution of 1917. And this period, when the Georgian government was of a Menshevik flavor, was a period of oppression for Abkhazia. For this reason, Abkhazia, unlike Georgia, welcomed the appearance in the Transcaucasus of the Red Army in 1921. On the 4th of March that year, Soviet power was established here, and on the 21st of May, the Abkhazian Soviet Socialist Republic was recognized by Georgia's Revolutionary Committee. On the 16th of December, Abkhazia signed a special contract of alliance with Georgia, whereas on the 13th of December in 1922, Abkhazia, along with Georgia, entered as fully equal partners the Transcaucasian Federation, along with Armenia and Azerbaijan. In February 1931, quite against the will of its leadership and people, Abkhazia lost its status as a treaty republic associated with Georgia to become a mere autonomous republic within Georgia, by order of the man who by then had amassed full control of the Kremlin within his own hands, namely one Josip Jurashvili, a Georgian known to the world as Joseph Stalin, who proceeded to cultivate his conception of the Soviet Union. Although Stalin never built for himself a dacha, actually within Pitsunda, he did in 1932 occupy the northern end of the Pitsunda Bay here at Misra and built this rather small dacha for himself and his guests. It was from this balcony that he used to sit and watch his favorite films on a screen built on a wall directly in front of me. The first communist leader of Abkhazia, Nestor Lagoba, was a genuinely popular leader because he managed to protect Abkhazia from the Kremlin's excesses during the 1920s. However, after he declined Stalin's invitation in 1936 to become the Soviet Union's head of the Secret Service, he was promptly poisoned in Tbilisi by Stalin's main lieutenant in the Caucasus, the Mingrelian Lavrenti Beria, who was born actually in Abkhazia. This heralded a period of intensive Georgianization of Abkhazian life. Abkhazian intellectuals were liquidated. There was mass importation of Georgian speakers, mainly Mingrelians, from Georgia to swamp the Abkhazians on their native territory. Abkhazian language schools were closed in 1945 to be replaced by Georgian language schools, and publishing and broadcasting in Abkhaz was banned. It is true these measures were put into reverse after the death of Stalin in 1953, but they have remained in the collective Abkhazian memory as an indication of what so-called autonomy actually means within Georgia.